Welcome back to the channel, where real stories come alive with raw emotion and unforgettable lessons. Today's story is about a woman who, with one careless joke, shattered the man who loved her the most. What started as a light-hearted brunch with friends turned into the moment that changed her marriage forever. This is a painful reminder of how words, once spoken, can never be taken back. So settle in, because this is a story you won't forget. It was one of those slow, easy-going Saturdays, the kind where time felt unhurried. My friends and I had gathered at our favorite little cafe for brunch, a tradition we had built over the years. The sunlight streamed lazily through the windows, catching the rim of our champagne glasses as laughter bubbled between us. Conversations bounced around the table, complaints about work deadlines, funny stories about kids, and the usual teasing about our partners. It was light-hearted, harmless chatter, the kind that made you feel safe enough to let your guard down. At some point, someone made a joke about how quiet and reserved my husband, Michael, always seemed at gatherings. Everyone chuckled, and the spotlight shifted toward me. Wanting to keep the humor flowing, I smirked and without thinking blurted out, "At least my ex knew how to make me laugh, and he definitely knew his way around the bedroom." The words slipped out casually, carried on the wave of laughter. The table erupted again, loud, carefree, easy laughter. For a fleeting moment, I laughed along with them, convincing myself it was just a silly joke, nothing more. But then the sound of laughter thinned. It was subtle at first, a hesitation in their voices, a sudden heaviness in the air. My friends' smiles faltered, their eyes no longer on me but over my shoulder. Confused, I turned around. And there he was. Michael stood a few feet away, holding a bouquet of sunflowers, the same flowers he had brought me when we first moved in together. The sight of him rooted me to my chair. His face, usually so warm and steady, was unreadable for a moment. But then his expression cracked into something I had never seen before, a mixture of shock, hurt, and disbelief. He didn't say a word. He didn't demand an explanation. He simply placed the flowers on the empty chair beside me, turned, and walked out of the cafe. The world seemed to collapse in that instant. The laughter that had just escaped my lips turned into a cruel echo in my head. I scrambled to my feet, calling his name, rushing after him into the street. But he didn't stop. He didn't look back. He just kept walking, leaving me standing there on the sidewalk, frozen, helpless, and drowning in shame. That night, he didn't come home. His phone went straight to voicemail no matter how many times I called. I sat in the living room, sleepless, my chest aching, replaying the scene again and again. I told myself it wasn't as bad as it looked, that maybe he'd laugh about it later. But deep down I knew the truth. I had humiliated the man who had loved me unconditionally, reducing our marriage to a thoughtless punchline. The next morning, when I walked into the kitchen, I found a note on the counter. Just one short sentence. "I thought I meant more to you. Maybe I was wrong. Don't call me." I read it until the words blurred. My hands shook, tears soaking the page as I sank to the cold kitchen floor. The weight of what I had done pressed down on me until I could hardly breathe. I tried everything to reach him. Dozens of calls, endless texts, desperate emails. I even went to his office, but his assistant told me he was on leave. Friends tried to stay neutral, but their pity was impossible to miss. And I couldn't blame them. I had taken the man who had always treated me with tenderness and turned him into the butt of a careless joke. Memories began to haunt me. The night he proposed, his hands trembling as he slid the ring onto my finger. The tiny apartment we had turned into a home with nothing but love and determination. The way he used to wrap his arms around me when life felt too heavy, grounding me without a single word. Michael had always been my safe place, and I had shattered it with one thoughtless remark. Weeks dragged by with no word from him. Out of desperation, I started therapy, trying to understand why I had sabotaged the one thing that truly mattered. My therapist told me it was fear, insecurity hiding behind humor, a defense mechanism I didn't even realize I leaned on. Knowing why didn't erase the damage. It didn't bring him back. One afternoon, while shopping for groceries, I ran into his brother. My heart nearly stopped. I begged him, pleaded really, to tell Michael that I was sorry, that I was changing, that I would do anything to make it right. His brother didn't promise me anything, just gave a small, unreadable nod. That night my phone buzzed with a message. 3 words. I heard you. I cried for hours. Not because things were fixed, but because it meant he still cared enough to listen, even from a distance. Months passed. Michael never returned. The sharpness of that last look he gave me eventually faded, but it left behind something worse. A hollow ache, the heavy lesson that some mistakes can't be undone. Now, whenever I walk past that cafe, or hear one of the songs he used to hum absent-mindedly, or see a sunflower in a shop window, I feel the echo of what I lost. A single careless sentence had destroyed something beautiful. If I could go back, I would guard my words as though they were fragile glass, because love, true love, deserves protection, not ridicule. But life doesn't give second chances, only the weight of regret and the cruel reminder to never take love for granted. And that was her story, a single careless sentence that cost her the love of her life. If you've ever learned the hard way that words have power, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe some mistakes are unforgivable? Or can love truly survive anything? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss another story. Until next time. Remember, cherish the ones who love you and guard your words carefully, because once they're spoken, they can't be taken back.